welcome to Mike Drops the Mic. I'm Mike Lineman. Today I have the honor of being joined by Sergeant Maurice Boozer. Sergeant Maurice Boozer has been an active duty soldier for more than 17 years and was a drill sergeant leader at the U.S. Drill Sergeant Army Academy for 49 months. After that, he had the honor of appearing in the movie Cherry, which was directed by the Russo Brothers, and he played Drill Sergeant Rivera. Sergeant Boozer, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. Doing pretty well. Little tongue-tied.
So I want to jump right into what happened and how you became Drill Sergeant Rivera in the movie. So from my understanding, in 2019, you got a phone call from a friend of yours who had contact with the Russo brothers, and they wanted you to be a military advisor for the movie Cherry, which starred Tom Holland. So what connection did that friend have that allowed you the opportunity to appear as the military advisor?
So probably about September, October, one of my friends, he was actually active duty. He got out. After he served his time, he got out, and he went to school to be basically a director. And so he was the location director for Cherry. Either he was the location director or the secondary or director for Cherry. And so long story short, he says, "Hey, I remember you being a drill sergeant. We got this upcoming movie coming up. It's titled Cherry. Would you like to be a military advisor?" And I'm like, yeah, like, why not? And so he put me in contact with the second AD. And so I started communicating with the second AD. And so they had me send like a bunch of pictures. And then after I sent a bunch of pictures, like for like 2 weeks, I didn't hear anything. So at this point, I'm like, oh man, did I really get the job or did I not? So I went outside. I had to think quick. So I just started taking a whole bunch of pictures with my campaign hat on. And I just started sending them over, just start sending everything, like different facial expressions, like you name it, I was sending it. Just mean, happy, just all types of facial expressions that a drill sergeant have. And so I sent the email and I attached all the photos. And then within like a week, they said, "Hey, we love you, we like it, so we're gonna get you here to Cleveland to be an advisor. So we'll give you the advisor role for the basic training scene." So I'm like, so the Army aspect of it to everybody else that's not in the Army, like you really don't get to see like how it really unfolded. So I was doing the Veterans Day. It was a Veterans Day ceremony at the University of South Carolina. And I was out, I had met the coach, I had met some of the players, and we were doing a big celebration for Veterans Day. And it turned out I'm actually on the commercial. And it was that day, and I was just bragging about like, man, I can't believe my dream come true. I'm gonna be on TV. And I said this in front of the PAO. I said this in front of Fort Jackson PAO. And so they said, "Well, hey, we ain't tracking anything. What you supposed to, we ain't tracking no soldier from Fort Jackson going to do no movie." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I signed the contract. It's right here." And so it was like, "Well, you might want to get that contract to us on Monday." This was a Friday night. And so come Monday, I was in the office. I was first in line. I'm like, "Hey, yeah, this is the deal. This is the deal. So I'll bring this in. So this is the deal. This is what I have. And so, hey, I will get this, the contract that I signed." So I sent the contract to Aqua. So I sent it to PAO. PAO then sent it to Aqua. And then after they sent it to Aqua, Aqua sent it to the Pentagon, came back down. And then it went to legal. And then like they verified everything. And then it was like, "All right, hey, you got to be on leave. And make sure you don't bring this credit up on the Army clearance." There you go. And so from there, came on set and just being a military advisor, like to me, it was just teaching basic training. So I was a drill sergeant for 2 years at Fort Benning, and then I got selected to be a DSL. That's how I got to the Drill Sergeant Academy.
Okay. And just really quick, I want to explain what Cherry is. So essentially, it's from the adaptation of the book Cherry by Nico Walker, which is an awesome read. If you haven't read it, and if you haven't seen the movie, you absolutely should. But it tells a story of a boy from Cleveland named Nico Walker who goes into the military. He goes into the Army as a medic, and he goes to Iraq, and he sees his friends die, members of the communities die, horrific things, fellow soldiers, and he comes back after serving and develops undiagnosed PTSD. This leads to him using money to buy drugs, specifically heroin, and him and his girlfriend Emily take a dark turn down a road that leads to robbing banks in order to be able to buy the heroin to survive because they're so addicted to it. So it's a very dark movie, a very accurate, real story that is shocking to see and read. But that's just a quick summary of Cherry, but you should definitely check it out. So my next question is, when the Russo brothers did bring you in as the military advisor, what were their expectations and goals for you?
So the funny thing is I just was the advisor, and so it was at that day at the water plant where I broke down the groups of 4, and I began teaching, and then it was at one point where Chris, the first AD, he was like, "Hey man, I want you to just go. I want you to go ham on one of these. I want to see drill sergeant. I want to see it." And I'm telling him, I'm like, "Hey man, it's been a drill sergeant. It's not cold in nature. It's not this mean entity of a person. It's just we are masters of trainers. And so if I'm training and I'm training and I'm training, and then I say, hey, do everybody have it?" And everyone's like, yeah, we got it. Hey, yeah, we got it, drill sergeant. And then drill sergeant's like, all right, let me see it. And then it's like, oh, well, about that. That's when drill sergeants start yelling. That's when drill sergeant, because it's like, I won't say common sense, but that's literally how it is. And so same concept. That's what happened. I was teaching a marching drill. It was just basically getting in formation, giving them cover, recover. And one of the extras, like, I guess had an attitude. I don't know. He was having a bad day. And it was, we didn't have a lot of time. We had only 8 hours. So he was having a bad day and I was having a good day, I guess. And so he said a remark and I was on him, and apparently like they caught it on tape. And so that night I got a call, and it was from one of the assistant directors. Was like, hey, the Russo brothers saw you today and they love what they see. We got to redo your contract, and they want to cast you as Rivera for this movie. And I'm like, mouth just dropped. Talk about dream come true. And so, in tears, crying, happy, just a good day. Because to me, I was just doing my job. That's what they hired me to do, to give them the most, authentic soldier, or what soldiers actually do. So that's what I was doing. And so when that happened, when I got the role, it was like, hey, yeah, we got to redo your contract. And I'm like, all right. And so come Monday, like I got treated. So even though I was an advisor, like I didn't get treated wrong or anything. It was just like I had a lot more amenities than a lot of people had because I was an advisor. But then when I got the new contract, it was like, hey, you get treated like an actor, and not like we're gonna treat you like you are like got the best training or the best degree in acting. So hey, you're one of them. And I'm like, what? And different. So yeah, it was different. I kind of kept saying, you know, I don't fit in because I'm normal, but I really made it my business to make sure I spoke to everyone every day on set, hugged everybody, make sure, you know, everybody was having a good day. I felt like I needed to bring up spirits because there was a lot of stress. I mean, being on set is stressful. So.
And I agree 100% with what you said. You say you're a normal guy, but I mean, your performance, everybody high talks about how well you did in the movie. And I was an extra there at the water plant. So I remember doing the marching and seeing that switch. And I said, oh man, I said, I can see that drill sergeant really coming out of him now. So I remember doing push-ups, jumping jacks, all of it. You had us going, and that just had to be such a challenging thing for you, even though you're, for the most part, cool, calm, and collected. I mean, you got all these extras who the majority have, like myself, no military experience at all. And we might be fit, but we just might not understand things. And things that you think are basic can be challenging to others.
Right.
How are you able to stay calm and not tweak out on every little misstep that was made?
So that really comes from being an actual drill sergeant. So when trainees join the military, they have no idea of anything, like nothing. And so you basically build them from the ground up to know everything as far as tactics, drill and ceremony, customs and courtesy. So so I knew going in that I was going to be dealing with people that didn't know anything about the Army. So to me, that was a challenge. Like, hey, I'm a drill sergeant, but can I still be a drill sergeant? The question was yes. Like, and so I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. I think the biggest thing, I don't know if you remember, but the biggest thing that during that time at the water plant, I didn't get a chance to eat. And like, finally, like at like 7 o'clock that night, I was able to eat this lemon cake that I had stored. that was awesome. So it was fun in itself. Just doing anything military for me. Just the role of a drill sergeant, like I really, it's really intriguing, and I love my time as a drill sergeant. I wish I could do it again, but you know, I can't do it no more. I maxed out my drill sergeant time. So.
Okay. And just to clarify for those who, I forget if it was previously mentioned, when we're talking about the water plant, we went in on a Saturday and did about 8 hours of filming of Sergeant Boozer teaching us what we needed to know for the upcoming week that was going to be filming of a basic training scene. So when it came to the actual filming the following week, were you nervous or did you feel very much in your element? Because essentially this is what you do. So how were you nervous or how did you feel?
So when so I knew that they asked me to be Rivera. I just didn't know my involvement with Rivera, like how many scenes I didn't have like a number. Like most of the actors that was there, like they knew their set, they knew. And so I kind of was we were at this time we were at the were we at the plant still? Maybe
we started at the plant.
Okay. Okay, so at the plant, it wasn't. I wasn't nervous. I was more like I'm ready to show the world like what drill sergeants do. Like I'm ready to show. I'm ready to paint the picture that you know what the drill sergeant is and not what Hollywood thinks the drill sergeant is. So I wasn't nervous at all. I think the biggest part for me was like the mic. I was like, hey, you might want to turn my mic down because I am probably gonna hurt your ears, because just learning how to yell and talking from your diaphragm and not using voice and throat, like I just like that was my biggest thing. Like, hey, make sure you turn the mic down because I am very good at using my diaphragm and not just screaming to where I'm just gonna, you know, lose my voice. So but yeah, I was just ready to show the world like, hey, I'm ready to do this. So
And I would imagine that you feel a responsibility, not even just like, yeah, like I'm ready to do this and leave my mark, but to represent actually what a drill sergeant is to look like. I know there's movies like Full Metal Jacket where, that's a famous drill sergeant in that movie scene. That's, I would imagine, very Hollywood up. I feel like you put an emphasis on wanting to be as accurate as possible. This is the real deal. This is what you would expect.
Right.
I think that's really important whenever you make a film like this. So when you are the drill sergeant, did you have a lot of lines and dialogue you had to memorize? Or because of your previous experience, was it just all improv? Because I remember lines being different. It seemed every other take.
Yeah. So the biggest thing was they said, rolling camera, Boozer, do drill sergeant stuff. And that was it. So everything that you hear me say in the movie is not lines, it's me. And that's what's crazy. Like, and that's kudos to the Russo brothers. It's kudos to everyone, that put forth effort. Because when people look at that movie, they're gonna be like, man, the writer, man, how did he know to write that? Like, but and the best thing is the fact that they was like, hey, yeah, just go, just do drill sergeant stuff, and that's what I did. As it was, to me, it was normal. It was very easy.
I remember when we were in the basement, and you can actually, when that one kid crossed his arms like this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And you just started yelling, battle, 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 and you got in this kid's face, and you can, in the movie, you can see the spit flying, and it's right next to Tom Holland. And funny enough, that's the one of the few times where you can see me directly across from it. So there's a shot where we're together in the movie, which is cool. But man, talk about intensity. I remember after, because we did that, we had to film that a couple times about this kid, and then we were all just clapping for you guys after. Like, thank God that wasn't us getting yelled at.
So that day, that was an awesome day because what a lot of people don't know is even though that scene made it onto the end of the movie, we did that scene for like 2 hours. And like I did that to a lot of people. Mm-hmm. A lot of people. And in the first take with Tom, I actually pushed Tom out of the way.
So, oh, I think I remember that. Now that you said that, I almost think I remember. And then was it that you didn't realize it was Tom at first?
Right. I was in drill sergeant mode and he was there and I moved. And they were like, no. We got to put him.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, but it's just, you get in that mode and I just really wanted to put my best foot forward. That was all. Yeah.
I'd completely forget about that until you said that. I remember seeing that directly across. Okay, so the movie came out. What did you think of the movie? How did the extras that you trained, how did we do? How did Tom do? And what do you think about your performance?
So at the premiere, so when I first watched the movie, so we were actually in the process of I was on the road. Me and my wife we were traveling. We were on the road and the email came through. And so we were trying to watch the movie while traveling on the road. And like, it was just, and like the car was playing one sound and so I didn't really get a good grasp of the movie. And then, so, but because of COVID, we didn't do a big movie premiere, and that's what pushed the movie back as well. So I really didn't get to really see my scenes. I seen like maybe 2 or 3 scenes while on the road, but like I didn't see it. So I literally had to wait until March when the movie came out. That night, like so many people called me. It was like, man, you did awesome. And to me, I'm like, I only seen 2 scenes. Like I don't know what y'all talking about. And it was like, dude, like, you crushed it. Like you like of all the drill sergeants, like they let you. Like I'm like, yeah, sure, because I didn't see it, and so I wasn't. I was of course I was happy. It was finally out. Like the finished product, it was out. Everybody get to see it. I didn't get to I didn't get to to watch it fully. So I ended up going back and forth. I just was like, hey, we on the road, kind of, I'll just wait. So finally, when I did watch it, I watched the entire movie, and it was like, and because when I was there, I only knew part 3, the drill sergeant stuff. I didn't know anything else because I wasn't there the whole time. So to put the finishing touches and everything they did, like my mouth dropped, like, and it dropped for a number of reasons. It dropped because it really told the truth. Like it wasn't sugarcoated. Like I know, plenty of people to my left and right from when I served that they down spiral just like that. So it was very accurate. Tom did an amazing job. It's one of those movies that I'm proud to say, hey, it's forever. Like I get to see that forever. As long as I live, I get to go back and say, hey, man, I was in that movie, and I know that everybody put their best foot forward. So Tom did great. Emily did great. And the other people before there, like Jack, I didn't get to meet him. Like Damon did great. Jose, Nick, Zach, all of those guys did great. I was very intrigued that they did as well as they did. So, but the movie, the best of its kind, one of a kind, best of its kind. So,
Jose's the one who I had her this close to my face, spitting right at me whenever we were doing the military training. I'll never forget that. That was traumatizing. But so yeah, the movie, huge success. Your intensity is probably why you received all the praise that you did, and really, it is a jaw-dropping movie that tells an authentic story. So I want to ask you about this. So the soldier that Tom Holland portrayed in the movie, Nico Walker, he suffered from undiagnosed severe PTSD after more than 250 combat missions in Iraq. Given that you spent significant time in the Army serving in Iraq and training in the United States, how common is PTSD in soldiers who serve in Iraq, Afghanistan, everything like that? How common is it?
well, so I'm not a doctor, but I can tell you this: it's more common than people think, and it's just not. It's not just tailored to service members. So like you could be in a bad car accident, and you could have seen the lights or the vehicle hit your vehicle or hit the car you were in, and somebody in there died. And what plays in your head every time you're alone, every time you are, by yourself, or whenever you start thinking, you see those headlights. That right, it's a reoccurring thought that happens over and over, and that's PTSD. So in Iraq, I can only speak for Iraq. I haven't been to Afghanistan. My tours in Iraq, I mean, we go on mission, and it becomes muscle memory. You see the same thing, and then the worst part is, if you lose a brother or sister, and that's when it really takes a toll, because what a lot of people don't know is, like, when you lose a soldier, there's a soldier that potentially grew up with that service member, and that's in the same unit. So because a lot of soldiers, they go to the same unit from basic training, so it just has a second, third, and fourth order effect. So how common is PTSD? Is very common, but it's just not talked about as well like it is in the military. But it happens every day, just like as a victim to anything. It's just a reoccurring thought, and a lot of people suffer from it. Even, I put it like this: in an abusive relationship, they go over it over and over and over again. Like, if I do this, this will happen. If I go do this, that'll happen. So I'm not gonna do neither one. That still is a form of PTSD, and it's a form of abuse as well. So that's mainly what it boils down to. But a lot of people suffer from it than what they know.
So obviously, for people who are in abusive relationships, accidents, there's resources to help with this PTSD. As someone who was in the military, what types of resources are available? Because in the movie Cherry, we see that when he's trying to go to counseling and when he's trying to talk and the medications, it's not necessarily doing the trick for him. What kind of resources are available?
So we have a numerous amounts of resources. It's just the sad and most honest piece is that not everybody is forthcoming with information. So we have Military One Source, we have EBH, we have providers here. We can you can go to the hospital. We have the hotlines. We have a battle buddy system. It's just the fact of whether someone is willing and ready to open up. And I think the hard question that we have up to date is, one of the things that I do is I just blatantly just like, hey, are you going to kill yourself? Are you going to hurt yourself? And most of the time, if you tell somebody that and you just not sugarcoat it, like they're going to be honest, because they don't have an opportunity to kind of just hide it. You know what I mean? So it's like one of those, hey, do you plan on killing yourself today? Or are you going to hurt yourself? And if most people are not ready for a question like that. Like, hey, most people are like used to people beating around the bush. Like, hey, is everything okay? Do you have any issues? Like, they're not going to be forthcoming. But when you just just lay it out there, they don't have time to tell a lie. Because if you know the person that you talk to, you can tell when they get ready to tell a tale, or they get ready to be like, I don't want to talk about it. Oh, okay, yeah, you do want to hurt yourself. Let's go. Let me get you to the right people to help you with the situation. So,
and that's the right thing to do, finding help and just about coming forward. So, changing the topics. Now that Cherry has been released, what's next for you? So, are we continuing to pursue the acting career? What's new and exciting?
So I've wrote 2 movies, 1 TV show. So one of the movies that I wrote is called Legendary, and one of the movies I wrote is called Calculated. Can't really say what they are about yet, but they're going to be great. So when I was on set, I kept telling Jose, I'm like, hey, I got a story to tell. And he was like, hey, just start writing. And so I ended up during quarantine, when quarantine first happened, I ended up writing a 2-season series called The Regiment. And like now it's to the point where I've divvied out lines. Now it's just the fact of getting everyone together and coming up with a plan and moving forward to see how we can get it funded, and then see about casting and try to get this so the world can see, so the world can kind of really see what we go through in the military. And it's a feel good story. So it's the first of its kind. Have never seen it in on TV. So it's gonna really shock America if we can. I won't even say America. It's gonna shock the world if we can get it on in front of a showrunner and they give us the green light go to put it on national television. So
that's very exciting. Is there a timetable where we're aiming for this to come out?
So I really won't know a timetable. So in March, we're gonna sit down with the production team, and then we'll hash out everything, and then from there it'll go forward. So and then from there, I don't really have a lot. I won't say endorsements because I haven't really signed a big contract for a specific brand, but I've been able to help out a couple of people. Put my name. I've modeled watches and tuxedos. So just something to keep to build my portfolio. That way, when the time do come for me to sign a big deal, I have the resources.
Yeah.
So I have.
That's great. That's wonderful. And if you need someone, when you're writing, you need, someone looks like me. I mean, I'll shave my head again. Put me in for a line or two. You let me know, okay?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. So the last thing I want to do is at the end of each interview, I do 7 quick questions related to Cherry, just about yourself. So is that okay with you?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
All right. Question one. What is your favorite movie?
So my favorite movie, I can't say Cherry because it's be cliche, but my favorite movie of all time is Glory Road.
Okay.
It is a feel good story. It's a comeback story, and I believe um, that we are all equal and we're all brothers and sisters, regardless of skin complexion, and it's and no matter who you are, if you want to be successful, treat people like you want them to treat you. And if you can be a good person, I promise you, like life will be a lot easier for you.
Amen, man. That's well said. Well said.
Yeah.
All right. Question two. Besides Cherry, what is your favorite military movie?
Favorite military movie. Well, it's a lot. I'm with military. I'm more of a comedy type guy, so I would have to say the A-Team
Okay.
because it like the A-Team, just because how they had to always give BA the shot before he can get because he was afraid of heights, and I think the A-Team probably takes the cake.
All right. So when you were overseas, what was your favorite food that you ate?
Favorite food overseas? Uh, I would definitely say breakfast. I can't like narrow it down, but breakfast, just because like they would cook everything right in front of you. So you know what, I'll just say the eggs.
Okay.
The eggs was probably the best.
All right. So what are some of your hobbies? What are some of your current hobbies?
Woo. So I am my day is very busy. So I am a college student, father of five, active duty military. I write. Um, man, I love to hang out with my wife, and we love to shop. But like, I can't really think of a lot. I don't have a lot. And then I get up at about 4:15, and I'm getting home at around 5 or 6 o'clock. So yeah,
Busy guy.
yeah.
Um, if you were in a movie, what would be the dream role that you would be in the movie? If you could portray
Oh,
anything, what would you love to be?
oh, hands down, I want to be a superhero. Like hands down.
When I wrote this, I thought in my head, I said, this guy, he knows the Russo brothers. Let's get him in a Marvel movie. Can we make it
hands
happen?
hands down, if I could be a superhero, I don't even care. I don't care who it is. I just want to be a superhero. That's it. I just want to be a. I just that's it. You can even give me Darkwing Duck. He ain't even a superhero, but I just want to be a superhero. That's my dream, to be a superhero.
Yeah, we got to get you in the costume, everything like that. We got to reach out to the Russo brothers and make this happen, huh? If you could work with any actor in a movie, who would you like to work with?
It's so many. Like I love Tom. Tom, Jeff, man, Damon. I talk to them still to this day, and I keep telling them every time. I'm like, hey, it wasn't that we were just actors. I said I think we developed a special bond, and I think I think Jose is putting together like a gathering where we all show up. But it was, yeah, those guys. I would work with them any day of the week, any time of the week. Yeah, just though. Yeah. Um, but if I got to choose to work with anybody that man, it's so many. It's so many. I Man, I would just say the same cast of Cherry, the Russo brothers again. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's a great cast, great group of people. The final question I have, you talked about how busy you are, busy schedule. I'm wondering, from your experience in the military, did you have any morning rituals that you do to help you get started for the day? I know some people do push-ups when they wake up, make their bed, stuff like that. Do you have anything morning ritual?
I do. So in the morning, on my way to work, I ride in complete silence. Like, so my drive to work is about 28 minutes. So for those 28 minutes, I take just silent. I don't listen to the radio. I just drive. I don't look at my phone. I just drive to work in complete silence. It allows me to kind of not so much days off, but it allows me to focus in on what I got going on for that day. And then on the way home, I listen to Eric Thomas,
Okay.
the motivational speaker. And so, and it talks about, and he talks a lot about, you know, a lot of people talk about what they're going to do then and now, but not really the how. So I listen to, they call him the hip hop preacher. So I listen to Eric Thomas a lot. So in the morning, I ride in silence. And in the afternoon, I listen to Eric Thomas. That is to get home, because I know, like, when I get home, there is no, hey, let me relax. Because I just literally transition from one hat to another. Now I'm dad. Now I'm, you know, husband, friend, helping with problems. I'm a maid as well. I'm a car detailer. So it literally, because I know what to expect. So
Writer and future movie star, correct?
oh yeah.
Well, I can't thank you enough for coming on and spending time. I know you're a busy guy, so I appreciate it very much. I had a great time talking to you. If you haven't seen Cherry or read the book, make sure to check it out. Look for Drill Sergeant Rivera, okay? Let him know whenever you see him in the movie. You can find him on Instagram. And anything else you want to say?
Hey, thank you. It was, just thank you a lot. You know, I look forward to having more Zoom meetings with you.
Oh, I'd love that. That would be wonderful. So thank you very much, Sergeant Maurice Boozer, and have a good one.
All right, you too. All right. Stay blessed.